Well, hi YouTube, and welcome back to all my Buster buddies. It's your host, Brad Claybaugh, and this is Brad's Boredom Busters, your textile art channel. This is the channel where we have fun with fabric. All right, now in today's episode, hey, we're going to revisit a project I did a little while ago. If you remember, I did the bleach painting pinstripe tiki on the back of a hoodie. And I said I wanted to do a little bit more with that project, and so today that's what we're going to do. Today I want to do realistic flame around the bottom of the hem of that hoodie. And so we'll be doing that with an airbrush. And the funny thing about, if you look up airbrush flame painting, all you'll come across is guys doing it on cars or on sheet metal, as examples, doing it with color. If you look up bleach flame painting, there are no examples of anyone doing it with an airbrush. So I guess I'm going to be unique to YouTube and doing that. I've been practicing it for a while, and I've come down with a method that I like. The most common methods of doing realistic flame painting with an airbrush is layering it with color. A lot of times some artists use opaque white as a base, and then they'll put a candy color over that, and then do some more opaque white and another candy coat, and then it's usually 3 or 4 coats of different candy colors to give it depth and density and highlights. And so to achieve that, I've had to practice with the bleach. And so the more bleach you apply, the whiter or brighter the area gets. And so I actually tend to do a soft base coat, and then I keep layering over that to make it brighter and also define the shape of the flames. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I do draw out the pattern with a white pencil that washes out, and so you'll see me do that first. And then the bleach we're using it's a 50-50 mixture of water and bleach. And I'm using really my cheapest airbrush I have. It's got a very fine needle in it. And that I got from Harbor Freight, actually in a combo kit with the air compressor and the airbrush. The compressor is really not that great, so I got rid of that. But I kept the airbrush because it works well for really fine fluid, either paints or materials like this bleach and water. And then I've got the air pressure turned way down to really about 20 pounds of pressure. And when it's running, it goes anywhere from 20 down to even 10 pounds of pressure. But because the bleach is so fluid, at a higher pressure, it blows out and you lose control over the, the material. You lose control over your lines and your details when you're trying to do fine details with the airbrush. So I've got it at a very low air pressure because it's a very fluid material. All right, so basically what you need for this project is your airbrush, your bleach water mixture, and if you want to actually draw out the flames ahead of time, then a pencil that'll mark on your fabric and get washed out. And you need something that's either white or yellow to show up on the black fabric. All right, so I think that's all we need. So I've got it set up on my easel over here. And so let's get over there and we'll show you how it's done. All right, see you at the table. Okay, Buster, so here we are at the table. So here's the project. If you remember this, I said I'll put a link to this project at the end of the video so you can watch how I did this. But yeah, I just want to show you some examples of my practice flames that I was working on. There's one. And let's see if I can show that one there. Well, sort of. There you go. Here's another one. And then this was the largest scale one I did because I wanted to do something very similar to the scale that it would be on this shirt or similar to the scale that it will be on this hoodie. All right, so that's what we're trying to accomplish along the bottom here. And I've got two things I've got to do also before I can actually start painting on here. I want to mask off this portion here, so I don't want to get any bleach down below here. So let me go grab my tape and we'll get this masked off. And also, not only am I doing the flames along the back here, but then I'm going to wrap that around the front as well, up to where the zipper is. And so it'll be this bottom hem all the way around the hoodie. So let me grab my masking tape for this, and then we'll get right back to it. Okay, got my tape. Let's get this covered up. Don't want to have bleach on certain parts, and so yeah, mask it off where you don't want the bleach. So there's the pattern, and you know, I've got everything that looks like single little pieces, but what I've learned is some of them, you know, work together. Like you can join singles together to make bigger pieces of flame. So it's just, and it's good to have some reference. I know I started off with some reference. I'll show you what I started off with. Okay, so this is one of the images I downloaded from the internet. I just Googled realistic flames or just flames and came up with several images. And so I was using these to kind of give me an idea of how it should look, you know, what I'm trying to achieve as far as the look of, you know, flames, where you get bright spots and darker spots. So if you have never done this before, this is a good idea to just download some images and then use those as a reference when you're practicing. that's what I did, and it really helped. Okay, so we've got this done. So now we can start. Bleach painting on this. So this is the airbrush I'm using. It's, like I say, got it from Harbor Freight in a combo kit. The airbrush isn't bad, and it's I found that the gravity feed works okay for this, and because it has a very fine needle. So like I said earlier, because the bleach water is so thin of a is such a thin viscosity, say that 3 times fast, that it's better to use a very fine airbrush or a very fine needle airbrush. I'm taking the air cap off because that also helps in a couple ways. It helps you see where you're shooting the bleach, because once you shoot it on here, you really can't see it until it starts activating to the black fabric. So it's just kind of a go slow and see what you've done before you go on to doing too much more. All right, so I'm going to get started on this. Hopefully the camera is in a good place where I don't block it too much and you can see what I'm doing. Like I say, this will take quite a while, this process, so I will All right. As I was saying, so in areas where you want it to look just like there's gases and, not hard flame, that's where I just apply the bleach with the airbrush very lightly, and I pull back and dust it on. But then in areas where I want it to look really hot and bright and more white, then that's where I get up closer and apply more bleach. And then really when I get done, kind of when this dries down more, I'll go back over some of these areas and just hit them a little bit more to just brighten them up a little bit. And areas that I would like to have a little brighter, I will apply more bleach to. But the ones that have bleach on it and I want them brighter, then I'll apply a little bit more there too. Anyway, but this is pretty much done on this side. I'll flip it around when this is all dry, and then I'll show you the other side. So I think I'll turn off the camera now, touch this up a little bit, then I'll flip it over and we'll come back and I'll show you doing the other side, and then we'll do a final reveal. All right, we'll see you then. Okay, Busters, I also wanted to let you know I do have this hoodie on a form, so the bleach can't go through to the front, or when I'm working on the front, go through to the back. You can use foam core. This one, I actually have a piece of masonite underneath there, sometimes called hardboard, and I just cut that out to fit this hoodie. It would also fit an extra large t-shirt. So if you're doing any kind of bleach painting or anything else that you don't want to bleed through to the other side of your garment, then it's great to use some sort of form inside it. It also keeps it stretched out, so that way it's easier to apply paint or the bleach or anything else like that you're doing, say with a brush or an airbrush. So just a piece of advice. Yeah, make sure you use a form underneath your project. All right, so here we are on the front side. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll lay out my pattern and then airbrush it. And then we'll be done with doing the bleaching. And so like any other bleach painting or bleaching t-shirt to tie-dye, after you bleach it, you need to neutralize the fabric. And I like to do that with baking soda. You can also do that with hydrogen peroxide. And so then after I get it neutralized and rinsed out, then I will put it in the wash, just a normal wash, and it'll be ready to wear after it's dry. When I'm done doing this side, you'll see that. I'll flip it back over. I've done some touch-ups on the back side, and we'll do a reveal of the back, and then like I say, I'll take it to the rinse and the laundry, and it'll be ready for me to wear. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. right, Busters, so here's the finished front. I think it came out really nice. I'm really happy with it. Let's get in close for some of the details. Yeah, these licks came out really nice. The licks of flame on the pocket came out cool. This side I'm happy with. It's a little heavy-handed, but you know, once you're getting into it, it's sometimes hard to just judge if you're going too much or not. But overall, when you're wearing it, it all blends in. But yeah, I think this came out really nice. All right, let's turn it over and see the results on the back. Okay, and here's the flame on the back. These came out really nice as well. Yeah, has a really good look. Very happy with this as well. And then the overall look is good with my tiki. So yeah, I think this is a really good project. I'm very happy with the results. This is kind of what I was really going for when I started this project, and I think I've got a really good result on this one. Yep. It turned out the way I had hoped. So hey, I hope you like this project. Hope you learned something new on it. All right, so I'll see you at my desk for our closing. See you there. All right, Busters, that project came out really cool. Hey, I hope you learned something new on this project. Hey, if you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming projects. And hey, if you really want to help out my channel, go to my Buy Me a Coffee page and buy me a coffee. That really helps me out. Hey, all right, thanks for watching. Love you all, folks. Peace out, baby, and go bust out some art.